Hey everyone, in this video I'll be ranking all the new weapons in Borderlands 4's newest Bounty Pack 4 alongside the free weapons that were also added in this. There are 3 new pearlescents and a total of 14 new items here, so we're breaking out all of that in this video. Now 2 new pearlescents here for free players, the Kaos, this is available from Subjugator, as well as the Pachonk, which is available from Radix. Now they have very low drop rates like the Crow Sword, so it's looking at below 1% drop rate, but they're actually pretty cool weapons because we have things like the Kaos here, which when you take out a target, it's going to create an explosion dealing an amount of damage based on the card value of the damage. So what's cool about this is it's an upgraded version of the Borderlands 3 one, which was a legendary. It's been promoted to a pearlescent, and it's a very strong weapon coming with Torg and Jacob's possible rolls, and as a dataless it also allows you to swap the ammo type. So if you got shotgun versions or things like the SMG, a very powerful weapon. And I'm going to be doing everything in the takedown because most of the weapons here seem to be more so focused on doing the takedown. And honestly, this one here is quite strong. We're doing a decent bit of damage here. Again, we're on like the Mayhem 20 here as well, true mode. So yeah, you can see the damage is pretty solid. It's the explosion that it does after it takes out the target, which is nice for the takedown because that's going to help with wiping out more enemies quickly. And the nice thing too is you got Jacob's rolls with Torg, so they're also exploding in good amounts of damage. So this is a weapon that I think is actually quite strong. You're seeing it here again in a harder difficulty, so that does change things. Typically I do these against bosses, but people wanted to see this against actual mobbing, so that's why I went with for this video, just to send him flying there. But yeah, the ricochets, the explosions, and being able to explode targets makes this weapon a very solid option. I don't think it's like the best weapon in Borderlands 4. There's just things like the Crow Source that kind of validate this for single target damage, but this is a really fun one just due to the large amount of explosions that you can get. You have to be careful though because it does have explosive rounds and it makes the enemies explode, so you can take yourself out. So I was using it in the assault rifle form. Here is the shotgun version. So yeah, shotguns obviously are pretty nice because that's going to shoot off a lot of extra projectiles. That'll be the highest damage possible with this thing, but if you're using an infinite ammo build, you want to have one that restores your ammo. So if you're playing as like Cash with his infinite ammo, it will run out of bullets pretty quickly, but the shotgun variant here, as you can see, just rips through the Mayhem 20 true mode here, so it does some pretty crazy amounts of damage if you run with the shotgun. We're going to see it against this boss type enemy here, and yeah, pretty stellar damage for the takedown. I honestly think this is a very powerful new weapon, and comparing it to the others, it may be one of the best here. So yeah, with that, I'm going to be throwing this on the tier list. This is a tough one because I would say like a true best is probably like A tier, but if I'm comparing this amongst the other weapons in this new update, it is probably among the best of them. So it is somewhere from a high A tier to S tier. We're starting off with a bang here. Now next is a weapon for D&D fans. It has magic missiles. This is the Pachonk, and with this, killing an enemy will fire projectiles outwards that increase weapon damage by 25% for 5 seconds upon contact. This can hit you and it can deal damage to yourself, just to be mindful of that. However, as an order rifle, it has an interesting property where it can actually fire fully automatic, and it can also come with the Jacob's roll on it, which is an amazing choice because obviously for the takedown, you want to have these bouncing around. You can see here the damage is not as good obviously as the Kaos here, and it does have somewhat of a similar effect where you're able to deal damage afterwards, but yeah, it's just not as good as the other one here. It is fine for an order weapon because you can get the benefits from like active fire on the first shot fired, but yeah, it is a decent enough weapon. There's the explosion that happens that increases the weapon damage. 5 seconds is unfortunately a little bit too short for that to be actually like super useful, and you can see that yeah, it kind of does struggle compared to like if we're looking at the Kaos. There's the infinite crits going off. I like the beam effect with these. All the pearlescents have that really cool like shot pattern, but yeah, ricochets do really carry this weapon and make it a lot better, but it's just not as strong as the Kaos here. But another solid weapon. I wouldn't be like farming for this really, unless there's some change, maybe the duration of its effects, because again, 5 seconds is just really short, but you're able to hit and explode a lot of targets after taking out one. Just not the same as the Kaos here. As you can see, the damage is not super amazing. So the Pachonk, I'd probably say put it around the B tier. For an order weapon, I like not having to charge it up, which we do have another weapon here that's ordered that you do have to charge up, so has points for that, and pearlescents being able to swap damage types is quite nice, just B tier honestly. And the last new free weapon is the Verce here. This is added to the Ordnite processor, so if you're farming for a Shalashaska, this can pop up in it. It's kind of cool. It's a Jacob, so crits will ricochet, and it comes with dataless ammo swappers, which is a nice addition for a shotgun. However, the rapid infusement does not seem to work. So this is not just the 5% of the weapon damage heals energy shield, so it's also the 10% chance to get on hit gain that 250% fire rate increase, which obviously would be really nice if it could work, but in my experience I've not had that happen at all. I've been testing this thing and I've seen a lot of other people say the same thing, which is unfortunate because this is a really cool concept for a weapon and it would make it actually worth grabbing. And I have tested this on a variety of different characters because I have a setup here with Harlow that gains shield whenever she deals damage with her action skill, which we can turn our gun damage into. This is the fire rate on it, and yeah, you can see that it's not always consistent with like infinite ammo setups just due to its small magazine size here, but even so, not giving you that increase to the fire rate, it's stuck at this amount. So yeah, I feel like they'll probably patch this in the future to make it work as it should because I think it's a cool concept, and I always love being able to turn a shotgun into an SMG variant. Another fun fact about the SMG variant is it mutes the shots entirely, so it goes from sounding like a shotgun to sounding like nothing. So yeah, it's okay, I guess. Doesn't have anything special going for it. If this worked, it would probably be an S tier because this gives shield regeneration for builds that can do amp damage, which in essence sounds incredible. However, it does have that issue where, and the unfortunate thing too is getting that fire rate increase wouldn't really change things too much since it is a Jacob's weapon. So I'm just gonna put it in the C tier. I feel like there is a lot better the shotguns in this game is just so incredible. I did do a top 5, which we'll have in the pinned comment there. So check that out for a little bit more information on shotguns because yeah, this only really has its accuracy working for it. And next we're moving to the Bounty Pack 4 weapons. Now if you don't have the Bounty Pack 4, I would still recommend checking this out because there are some interesting things here for a future sale perhaps. The PRISM Jacob Sniper Rifle. Now, unfortunate part about this is it's always going to come with that COV licensed mag. I don't know about you guys, not a big fan of that, so one strike against it. However, it does have a cool ability, so critical hits will trigger a bonus ricochet projectile. Bonus ricochet projectiles will random element. Each consecutive crit gains an additional ricochet up to a cap of 5. So yeah, that makes it a pretty solid weapon for the takedown because you're going to get a lot of ricochets, kind of similar to the Shaska, but just not as good, but nice on if you're using like an infinite crit Harlow build, for example, but I'll get into that. There are better options. It does have a really nice crit modifier here of 146%. I think it can go a little higher too if you sacrifice some damage. And it is a Pink Floyd reference. PRISM, the dark side of the sun. Yeah, it's kind of cool for that. But yeah, the damage is awful. Very bad. So yeah, the unfortunate part is with COVs, you gotta deal with the COV magazine. So if you have like an infinite ammo build, only certain of them will work. And you can see here, we're just doing tiny amounts of damage to this Brian Blubgill. But a single target is not where this really excels. It's about the ricochets. So you can get some nice ricochet action going with this. That's kind of why I wanted to showcase this during the takedown. But you're still kneecapped by that ability where it just makes, or the COV licensed magazine. So yeah, it is kind of cool in the fact that it does have a lot of ricochets there, but there are a lot of other weapons that are pretty solid. And the thing with snipers is, oddly enough, the best way to use a sniper is to get a fast firing one for Vex's like Bloodshot. That is really the best way to use something like this. So it's not fast firing and it doesn't let you fire it infinitely. So certain builds will like this, I guess, but this isn't one that I'd be like hunting for. It's not bad, I guess. If you don't mind COV licensed magazines, I could see this being okay on Rafa. Rest in peace to him. But yeah, it's okay at best. I'd probably say like a low B tier. It's not as good as the Pachonk, but it is better than the Verce in my opinion. They're both not like super exceptional here, but our next one is pretty cool. But I should mention, this is dropped from Betamax, and we're actually going to be moving to a weapon that comes from the Vault card. I want to compare these together because the stealth and sneak here is interesting. As a sniper rifle, it has a lot more freedom than the PRISM, and it kind of functions like the Stray in a sense. So there are a couple different roles that you can get. You can get the dataless shotgun loader, which we always enjoy, as well as Ripper parts, amazing, and it's a Maliwan, and it also has splash damage. But there's also the option of just going with a full-on Maliwan swapper here, and Radiation Corrosive is typically my favorite for that. I like to go with this with the Ripper. This is the highest possible damage, 23k, and if you go for the dataless, it's going to drop the damage, but that's okay, because the shotgun will just make it even higher. So first I'll show this off in the sniper rifle form. So it is going to shoot off these little projectiles that bounce around. Now this is not a build that's optimized for this, but I've tried it with Gloam to Glow Cash. It is amazing because you're just getting off so many extra projectiles there that you can just go slide and get a bunch of extra damage from. But you can also shoot at the ground. It leaves these little orbs that shoot off at targets. They only do like 30% of the weapon damage, but it's enough. And it'll, obviously you want to shoot at targets and have them have these little stickies on them that are going to shoot at targets. I think this is a really cool option for a weapon, and Maliwan, I just have a sweet spot for Maliwan. Being able to elemental swap is one of the like late game strategies that you want to employ. So being able to do that with a weapon that's also good on like the best builds in the game, like Loam to Glow, just gives you another option. But even without using like an OP meta build, this thing is still very powerful. You're seeing it against like armor type, so it's not super effective against. I'm using the radiation type, and that guy's strong against radiation. But yeah, it is a good one. And that's before we consider the shotgun variant. So shotguns obviously make everything a lot better. This gets you a ton of projectiles. So if you're playing on PS5, you can warm your house by using this. So yeah, it is crazy amount of projectiles that you can get flying with something like this. That makes it that much better, because even if you're missing, you're still going to be hitting targets, because these will shoot off at targets. So yeah, it's a strong weapon. I like it because even if you're like doing the old dad gamer route, you don't have to aim. It's just going to hunt down things for you, similar to the Stray, making this a really nice weapon in all honesty. Yeah, this stealth and sneak, I'm going to throw, or stealth and seek, I'm going to throw this into the A tier. It's a good weapon, and multiple elements, shotgun loader being my favorite. It's got a lot of preferable ways to play around it. And next up we got the Silver Sliver. Good enough. Welcome back, Slag. This will make the target take 1% more damage for 15 seconds, stacking up to 50 times. And it's a Jacob's weapon. It comes with Jacob's parts. It's a dataless weapon, so it's going to have the ammo swapper, or you can go with a Maliwan swapper. I obviously prefer having more of the shotgun version of it, because that lets you stack up its benefit a lot faster. And it can also roll with elements, so that is another nice thing about this. The Silver Sliver's cool because, again, you got the ability to just buff up damage against one target. So what's great about that is if you're playing with friends, that is a really nice buff to the overall damage that you're going to be dealing to that target. So yeah, if you're playing with if you're a solo player, you can just blast away with this before you pull out like your crow source for a big damage boost. But really, its biggest benefit would be to more so be like buffing up your friends, and having Jacobs on it is also really nice. We have a lot of enemies here. The damage itself isn't anything to write home about. I'll swap it over to the pistol form there, which shoots a lot faster. But yeah, it is a strong weapon. I'm using an infinite crit Harlow build here, so you got a lot of benefits from that. But it's hard to tell how the enemies are affected by this. You just have to count to yourself 50 times, which obviously is not possible. Sorry, I jumped in the water there. But yeah, it is a strong weapon just because that effect is seriously so good. So yeah, playing with friends, this is the GOAT. If you're playing solo, pop it off and then swap to your stronger weapons and let it rip with that increased amount of damage. So yeah, welcome back, Slag. On its own, it's probably B tier, but it can work on like Loam to Glow Cache as well. I'm going to throw some in the S tier just because it is a unique effect that is going to buff up a lot of different situations. It's unique. It's fun if you want to play more of a support role for your team. Like Harlow is kind of like the support class of this game. So if you're playing with friends and you want to have a more like support focus in your group, throw this weapon on. This weapon also drops from Betamax, so I do think that they put it there on purpose just because you'd want to be finding this. However, next we do have another pistol, a TDR. I'm not the biggest fan of TDR in Borderlands, but it is funny. It has the shooting replicator leg, so it'll throw out two guns with legs that shoot at enemies until it's out of ammo. That is a special ability, and it also can come with a ripper part, so that is nice. It can also come with elements, so big fan of that. However, yeah, it is just a interesting weapon. I'll show you guys this here. So shooting it off, it has like rockets, and then you throw it off, and then the guns wander around shooting at targets. I love that. But yeah, it's decent enough damage, but you really have to like TDR to really want to use this to its full advantage. You'd want to build around things like that, but it doesn't really have the same like chucking damage here. And you can see like the damage isn't amazing off of it. So yeah, we're choosing against a single target there, and it is not killing very quickly. But I mean, this is obviously on like the hardest difficulty, so that is to be half expected. But yeah, we'll go against this badass here. This is also with all those little mini turrets running around, so it's okay damage. I got a full infinite crit build set up there, and yeah, it's cool, I guess. You find this weapon from Max Supreme, and I'd have to say it's probably a B tier-ish weapon. Like, I like the effects on it. It's just not super crazy powerful. The rockets does home in on enemies a little bit, but not like a super effective ability there. And the running around legs is nice, but yeah, I don't know. Having the rockets home in on targets is cool, but it's not enough to put it up any higher on this list. And next we're jumping to another vault card weapon with the Divided Glow. This one's interesting and have a very high amount of damage here. It's the Torgrol with an order. It is an order weapon though, so just heads up on that. Now it does have a pretty large splash radius of 100 centimeters, and it does get a critical hit benefit here. The special effect, enemies damages by the ricochet shield take 50% increased radiation damage for 6 seconds and are inflicted with a radiation status effect. Now you can get it without elements. You can also get it with elements, and radiation obviously being a nice choice for that because it'll increase the overall damage it's dealt. So if you go for the plain Jane regular 34k, if you go for the version that is a radiant damage one, it's going to round you out around 27k damage. And yeah, I like the Torg roll in it, but you can also go with a Daedalus Loiter if you want, or Hyperion Ricochet Shield is kind of the main effect of this. So yeah, pull out your shield for those big ricochets everyone loves, and then you just blast away with it. And again, you do have to charge it up, so that is one downside to it. Whereas if you're using a charge up weapon, why not crow sourced? Unfortunately, that is the only thing that I can say about this weapon because, yeah, while I'm using it, I only just think about how I'm cheating on the crow source. So it is a cool effect. I do like the ricochet shield, but if this was fully auto like the Pachonk, I feel like I would like it a lot more. But yeah, it is really just for that shield effect to be able to reflect these back at targets. And outside of that, it is not really that incredible. So it does have its downsides, obviously being an order assault rifle. So yeah, it's okay. The weapon itself is probably in the C tier, but its special effects, being able to boost up radiation damage. When there's builds for Harlow, I might even just put it like, right below the pearlescents, because if you're doing like a red skill tree Harlow, you turn all your damage into radiation, and getting a 50% boost is quite nice. So that is really where it shines, but you'd probably want to swap to something that shoots a lot quicker if you're going that route, just due to the way that build works. But again, if you're playing with friends, it can be a cool option. And another vault card weapon here. We got a lot of assault rifles with 2 pearlescents and 2 vault cards. Eradication. On kill, it fires underbarrel projectile at 2 nearby enemies at 150% damage. It can come with the Torg roll. It has a grenade launcher, and it can come with a Jacob's roll. It also has a very nice crit modifier on it, and it has a 100 centimeter splash radius. So that is really nice. And again, it's going to be used mostly for that grenade launcher that you get with it. So what we're looking at here is something that looks like the Wombo combo, and yeah, you can see big explosions there. I really like that. And then we have that grenade launcher underbarrel there, which actually does some respectful amounts of damage. So yeah, that's one thing that I do like about that, is it will shoot off those and continue to keep shooting off rockets. So yeah, it's actually a pretty strong one here. So you can do some insane amounts of damage. I really personally enjoy the Eradication. I think this is much better than the other one, and it just looks cool. So yeah, if you've been thirsting for something different than the Wombo combo, this is a weapon that can definitely scratch that itch, especially with a Torg roll and Jacobs. It's much better than the Wombo combo in that sense, because you got Jacobs making it ricochet around and blowing up. And this thing can have a really high fire rate. Like I got this one here 12 per second versus the one that I was showing you guys with 9.6 per second, although it does not have the Torg or Jacobs on it, so that obviously is not as good. But I'll show you what that one looks like there with that increased fire rate, more akin to like the Wombo combo with the rockets that you'll be shooting off from it. But again, if you can get a Torg and Jacobs roll, why not Torg and Jacobs roll? This is just by far, my opinion, the best choice for if you're going for a weapon like this. So yeah, I would go for this one if possible, just because, I mean, it's just going to be the better one. And it's a vault card, so you do have to grind out the vault card to be able to unlock it. So yeah, it is a very fun weapon. And if you like the Wombo combo, I do think that this one in a lot of situations is possibly even better. Being able to shoot off those rockets is really cool. So yeah, you take out a target, you get some free rockets, and you also, or grenades, I should say. Yeah, I really do enjoy this one. So yeah, it is worth looking for, and I mean, I guess worth vault carding for. It's a powerful weapon. I love the grenades, and being able to choose when you want to shoot them too is also quite nice. You can just pop that out and explode a bunch of targets. Again, we're going against some targets here that are strong against this, but yeah, it is a powerful weapon. I do want to put it in the S tier, but I just think the other two here are better in their instances, so I'll put it around the same strength as the Stealth and Sneak. Again, this is balanced within the tier, or within these 14 new weapons themselves. Compared to the base game weapons, this would rank up a little differently because there's just so many good base game weapons, so it's probably shifted down a tier. Next up, we have the Plumb Bob, which is a carpentry tool. Now, this one is a ripper weapon, and it's got some cool rolls. It can come with Jacobs, it can come with Maliwan Swapper, it can come with Daedalus Swapper. So yeah, these are 3 different ones. The highest damage is 13,376, and it's got a special fine line. This will let this weapon ricochet multiple times, which is a really cool effect because you can just go boom and miss, 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 and actually hit your ricochet or hit your shots with it. Now, this will become even more chaotic when we throw out something that's going to actually let it ricochet here, so you can actually get a lot of damage off with this thing, and it is a very powerful one. We got a specialization level up, yippee! So yeah, that's it in shotgun mode, and then you switch it to SMG mode. It is a tighter spread and it shoots a lot faster. I love throwing an SMG variant on a shotgun. This just makes the damage a lot better. We're taking out these badasses pretty quickly with it, and the regular targets here, you can see we're wiping them out very fast as well. So yeah, I really like this. You see the SMG spread is a little bit weird with that, and you can swap back to the SMG or the shotgun, and it shoots off off the 3 bullets there. So yeah, I love this weapon. I think this is a really fun one, and it's a powerful option at that. So again, we have a lot of good shotguns in the game. It's nice to have another option with some Jacobs action. You also got the Ripper parts going on it. So I do personally like this weapon quite a bit, and it's definitely worth checking out. You can get this from Skank Eyes from the Bounty Pack 4, so it is worth looking for. This is another weapon that I want to put up into the S tier, but I think it is like a high A tier pick. I might even put it even higher than the last weapon, so we'll go with something around there. Just really good damage, and it is much better than the Verce shotgun. Now we're getting into the ordnances, heavy ordnances, and other items, which are kind of cool and hard to rank amongst weapons. I'm just going to talk about how good they are in general and put them on the tier list. Loiter, Sploiter. You may have seen I did a video on this yesterday. This is Kaos, not to be confused with the weapon Kaos that released, because it has a MIRV effect where you shoot the explosive, it creates more explosives that create more explosives. That's the Sploiter for you. Now this has a radius of 600 centimeters, and you're going to see you got to watch out when you're using this. You got to stand back, and it is a Torg weapon, which I always enjoy. Not good against flyers, because you see there it shoots off those grenades, so they don't actually hit the same target. But the best part about this is you don't have to be accurate. I did not have my infinite crits on there, so I lost it. So here's my infinite ammo set up a little bit better. Yeah, you gotta watch out for those explosions there, because otherwise you're gonna take yourself out. So it can be nice as a huge area of effect attack. You can see it does a good amount of damage too. This thing is really fun. Now I did a little breakdown on it the other day. It isn't as good as if you're used to using like the Heimdall, for example, or things like the Dropner, but it is very powerful nonetheless. And I really like the high risk, high reward play style of a lot of these weapons. Make them interesting, and a lot of Torg rolls, which I'm always a fan of. Unfortunately, we ran out of bullets there, but this is a strong new weapon. The Loiter Sploiter, I honestly am going to have to put this up into the S tier. It is that good. It's not, again, it's not best in slot, but it's a fun new option and can carry you pretty hard. Like, it is really good. Now to swing to the opposite side of the pendulum, the Pressure Kettle. This is an elemental grenade. Diamond hands, throw 5 divider grenades. Cooking the grenade will increase the damage it deals and reduce the number of projectiles thrown. So it's cool. It has a short cooldown at least, but you're going to want to cook it here so you get the reduced explosion, or the reduced, explosion that pop off like that. Normally you throw 5, it increases the damage, but you can see there, it does like nothing for damage. There's the 5 spread, so yeah, for the effort that you have to do to hold it in, it's not worth the payoff. So yeah, there's better ordinances in this game that just do a lot more, things like the waterfall, fire pot, you name it. So yeah, it's a bit of a letdown of a grenade, but you can get some cool effects off it if you want to just like hold it in your hands and then like, throw it off at the end. Just not enough damage to make it worth it. Thankfully, it's a vault card, so you can just grab it once, see if it's for you, and otherwise toss it, because I'm going to throw it in the D tier, but it's just not that good. This does take us next to the Repkit Oxidation. Reloads a percentage of ammo equal to the percentage of health healed on use. There's a couple problems with this. Whenever your health is low, you're likely either going down, or you're going to want to use some other form of protection for that. And there's many other rep kits here that can just give you, like the Kill Spring, for example, which will keep you alive. The War Paint increases your fire rate. The Triple Bypass, you can spam it 3 times. Getting your ammo back's cool, but every single character has an infinite ammo build, so its effectiveness may vary. It does, like, this is the shortest possible cooldown on it with the cooling, 7 seconds. This is a mini payload, so yeah, it is a small amount of healing, but this is the quickest you can get it back. It's okay. It's just okay. This is not something I even feel like I'm going to showcase in this video, just because it reloads the ammo relative to percentage your health healed on use. And with my character here, it's a 6,000 healing. That's going to be around 37% of your ammo. But the thing is, when your shield gets cracked, you're likely going to be going down quickly if you're on like Ultimate Fold Hunter 7 or Mayhem 20. So yeah, you're not going to get the most effect out of this. It's okay. I think it's a cool concept as well. So I'm not going to rank it in the worst. I just don't think it's like super effective on a lot of builds here. So yeah, you're much better going off with any of the other rep kits. This is more so just comparing it to the rest of the rep kits in the game, just because you have so many better options out there. And the last item that we have is the Hydrowerks, the antithesis to Fireworks. This will make it so that you launch off rockets when you glide versus get launched off rockets when you take out enemies. It's okay. It's going to fire off those rocks and whatever damage it's giving you that resistance to, and in this case, it's the radiation version. So just an idea of what this looks like. We're going to go slide, shooting off those rockets, which, yeah, they do damage, maybe. Hard to tell when you're on the higher difficulty levels, but it's a cool, I do like the effect. it just doesn't really feel like something you're going to build around. Like Gloam to Glow Cash will want to use a different type of shield, so even the guy that's sliding around often is going to take advantage of that. So yeah, it is okay. Yeah, we're barely doing anything in terms of damage here. If you want something that's going to fire up rockets, use the Fireworks. The Hydrowerks is just the unfortunate, not so great counterpart to it. So yeah, it's the Wario, even though Wario is really cool, of the Fireworks Mario. I take that back. I should not compare this to Wario. I'm going to put it in the D tier. But there you have it. Those are the best weapons from Bounty Pack 4, plus the 3 new weapons. I think the Kaos is probably the best weapon here. It's not like, if it was compared to the other weapons in the game, it's probably an A to a B tier. Like, it's just the power level of these weapons isn't super high. I just didn't want to be like a pessimist and put them all very low tier. So I'm balancing them amongst themselves. And there's obviously some really nice things with the Silver Sliver. I could even move that up. It's great on a lot of builds. Loiter, Sploiter, fun new heavy ordnance. Not the best, but it is good. And then we have a bunch of other weapons here that are also really fun. Let me know, though, what your favorite weapon is in the comments. Hope you guys all have a great day, and we'll catch you in the next one. Subscribe if you haven't already.